Greetings, folks. Welcome back. In this short video, we're going to talk about Monopoly. It's not just America's favorite board game, but Monopoly is also a very important market structure in economics. So here are some of the characteristics of a monopoly. First and foremost, you have one seller, and that seller is producing a good or service for which there are no close substitutes. And you have high barriers to entry. In other words, it's very, very difficult for other firms to enter that industry, which is probably why you have a monopoly to begin with. Another characteristic of monopoly is that the price exceeds the marginal revenue. And the reason for this is the seller, the monopolist, must lower the price of all the units sold to increase quantity. So here's the familiar cost structure. You have the U-shaped average total cost curve, and you have the marginal cost curve that intersects the average total cost curve at its minimum point. Now we've brought in the demand conditions. You have the demand curve and the marginal revenue curve. So this is all the information we need to figure out the price and quantity that the monopolist will charge, and then the quantity they'll sell, as well as the profit they might be earning. So let's start by looking at the price and quantity. Remember, the rule for profit maximization is you operate where the marginal revenue equals the marginal cost. That would be a quantity here. And the next question then is, what price would they charge? Well, they want to charge the highest price that they could and still sell that quantity. So that's the price on the demand curve. So here is the price for the monopolist. So here's the Q star, profit maximizing quantity. And then there's the price we showed a moment ago. So now the question is, what's the profit? How much profit will they earn? So profit, of course, is total revenue minus total cost. And total revenue is found by taking price times quantity. Pretty straightforward. P times Q is total revenue. So the total revenue is this whole big rectangle. The total cost is found by multiplying the quantity by the average total cost of producing that quantity. So your cost would be this small rectangle here. So that means your profit is this area in here. Because we took our total revenue, which is this entire rectangle, and subtracted off the cost, and what was left was the profit. So again, here's our total revenue, price times quantity. Here is the cost, total cost, which is the quantity multiplied by the average total cost. And what's left is the profit. So you might be wondering, does a monopolist always earn a profit, or sometimes can they incur a loss? Well, in this case, we have the same cost conditions, the same marginal cost curve, and the same average total cost curve, but the demand is a lot lower. You see the demand curve is shifted down and closer to the origin. You've got your marginal revenue curve there. So let's see if this monopolist is earning a profit or if they're losing money. So it's the same rule for the quantity they'd operate at. It's where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So here we have our quantity. And then the next question is, well, what price will they charge? Well, it's the highest price you can charge and still sell that quantity. And that's the price on the demand curve. So we still don't know if they're making money or if they're losing money. But remember, profit is total revenue minus total cost. So your total revenue is the price times the quantity. So it's this large rectangle here. It's your revenue. Your cost is the quantity multiplied by the average total cost of producing that quantity. So that's your cost. So in this case, your costs are larger than your revenue. So yes, indeed, a monopolist can incur a loss But why did that happen? Well, it's because the demand was very low. So again, here is our quantity for the monopolist, where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. Here's the price off of the demand curve. Here's the revenue, price times quantity. Here's the cost, average total cost times quantity. And here is a loss. So yes, this monopolist happens to be losing money. So to wrap up this short video on monopoly, what did we learn? If demand is high, a monopolist can make profits in both the short and long run. And that's different than a perfectly competitive market. In perfect competition, there might be profits in the short run, but that would attract new entrants into the market. In monopoly, you have such high barriers to entry that there are no firms that can enter. So a monopolist can make profits in both the short and long run. But that doesn't mean a monopolist will always earn profits. If the demand for their product or service is low, a monopolist can incur losses. So that's it for this video, and we'll see you next time.